Alright, tonight I am making the biggest ham steak I have ever seen. I'm going to roast this, and then I think I'm going to glaze it with something mustardy and possibly mapley. We'll see what happens. Then I'm going to make some sides to go with it. Okay, I've been letting this ham roast in here 20 minutes per pound. This is about a 5 pound, so it's been in there almost 2 hours. For the glaze for the ham, I have 2 tablespoons of butter. Now I'm adding a 1/4 cup of apple juice. Next is 4 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Then I put in 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm going to add a pinch of thyme and then salt and pepper and whisk this together. And now I am going to put on this glaze, roast it for another 15 minutes, flip it over, and roast it again. I let Hannah choose one of the sides, and she chose mac and cheese. So I am melting 2 tablespoons of butter in the sauce pot here. To that butter, I've added 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to whisk this around for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to add a cup of milk. Now I'm going to add some salt and pepper to it and stir it around a little bit till it thickens up, and then I'm going to add a cup of cheddar cheese to this. Okay, I've got my cheese all melted in there. Now I'm just going to add some cooked pasta and stir this around, and this is ready. I'm also making this packet of grain and quinoa salad mix to go with dinner, and I am going to make some asparagus also. Okay, I got them in the pan. I'm going to salt these and just let them cook for about 5 to 8 minutes until they're tender. Alright, those look pretty good. I'm going to take them off heat, put some lemon juice on and a little salt. And there's dinner. There's the grain salad mix, asparagus, homemade mac and cheese, and ham steak. Let me tell you, I did not feel like cooking dinner tonight, but now I'm really glad that I did. Sometimes you just gotta suck it up when you're on a budget and do it. Here's what I'm making for dinner tonight: Swedish meatballs. If they come out looking anything like this, I'm going to be super excited. To start off, I am heating up a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to add 1 onion chopped. To make the meatballs, I'm going to use a pound of ground pork and a pound of ground beef, and to that I'm going to add 1/2 cup of panko crumbs, 2 large egg yolks, the cooked chopped onion, a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and salt and pepper. Now I am going to mix this all together and form about 24 meatballs. The meatballs are assembled, and I'm going to put them in the pan here where I have another tablespoon of olive oil heating up in batches until they are all browned. The meatballs are browned. Now I'm going to drain the grease that's in the pan and make the gravy. For the gravy, you're going to melt 1/4 cup butter in the pan. Once the butter is melted, you're going to whisk in 1/3 cup flour and just keep whisking for about a minute, minute and a half. Then whisk in 4 cups of beef broth and whisk it around until it starts to thicken. It's a couple minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. At this point, you want to go ahead and put your meatballs back in. Stir in 2/3 cup of sour cream and cook it for about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally until it's nice and thick. While I tasted it, I decided it needed a little something, so I'm going to add some caraway seeds to it. While those are thickening up and cooking, it's a good time to cook your egg noodles. It has thickened nicely and everything's all cooked, so now I'm just going to stir in some parsley and we're ready to eat. Alright, here it is. I'm excited. I've been waiting. Whoa, I've been waiting for this one. Swedish meatballs, just some frozen green beans, and then a Swedish cracker with some jam on it that I wish was lingonberry, but it's a mixed fruit Croatian jam. So that's what we're having for dinner, guys. Okay, I froze this tangy taco meat the last time that we had it, and we just had doctor's appointments with the kids, and we're coming home, we're all starving, so instead of going through the drive-thru, I'm making tangy taco stack with these leftovers. Ta-da! Super easy. Dinner's ready. I am making some homemade pizza tonight, so I've got the crust ready to go, and I made some little breadsticks out of the extra crust. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. I will link a video to the last time that I made this pizza crust so you can see the recipe. Okay, there's the pizza. It's all done, and here are the breadsticks here, and that's dinner. Alright guys, tonight we are having the Mom Needs a Break special, I like to call it. I've got some broccoli chopped up here. I'm just going to steam this and put a little butter, salt and pepper, and some lemon pepper on it. I've got some little mini hoagie rolls that were in the freezer that I'm going to turn into homemade garlic bread, and then super duper fancy sauce for the spaghetti I'm going to boil. Okay, so homemade garlic bread is so simple. I usually give this task to Hannah, but she's downstairs. So what I do is I just put some butter on the bread, and then I sprinkle on a little bit of garlic powder and some Italian seasoning and broil it for a couple minutes. Alright, now I'm just going to put some mozzarella cheese on it and put it back in the oven for just a couple minutes in the broiler, and it's ready. Alright, there you go. The Mom Needs a Break special. Some steamed broccoli, some homemade garlic bread, and just some pasta with sauce. Tonight I'm making cauliflower soup. You can see this. This is all the snow that's just blown on our window. We actually have snow inside the windowsill. So I'm going to make soup for dinner. For the cauliflower soup, I have a pan heating up, and I'm going to drop in 4 cut up slices of bacon. And I'm just going to stir these around and cook these for about 6 to 8 minutes until they're crisp, and then I'm going to take them out, drain off the fat, and set the bacon aside. Alright, now I'm going to drop in and melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Once that's melted, I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1 minced onion, and 2 diced carrots. I'm going to stir and cook these for 3 to 4 minutes until they're tender. Okay, the vegetables look pretty tender, so now I'm going to stir in 1 head of cauliflower chopped and 1 bay leaf. Okay, so my cauliflower looks good, and now I'm going to stir in, or whisk in actually, 1/4 cup of flour, and I'm going to whisk that around for about a minute. My flour is whisked in, and now I'm going to whisk in 4 cups of chicken broth and 1 cup of milk, and I'm going to whisk this constantly for 3 to 4 minutes until it's thickened. At this point, I'm also going to season with salt and pepper. Okay, it's thickened up a little bit. I had to give it like an extra 2 to 3 minutes and a little more flour to kind of get it to thicken up a little bit, so you might want to do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil. Once it reaches a boil, I'm going to simmer it for 15 minutes until the cauliflower is tender. And while I waited for that to finish simmering, I just went ahead and chopped up a simple salad. This has lettuce, spinach, broccoli slaw, yellow peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, onion, and carrot. Alright, it's just about done simmering, so now I'm going to put back in the bacon and add about a 1/2 cup of cheese and stir that up, and then a little chopped parsley, and we're all set to eat. Alright, you guys, there's dinner. Yum.